Hey, Facebook Live. You know how this works. Hang on, while I click two more things. What else is going to happen now? What's up, Twitter Periscope Live? Just got Facebook Live going. I got you going. I'm going to click one more thing for all y'all. I've clicked everything. Hey everyone, SamMissionMonday.com. I'm going to say something that I've said a lot in the past, and it reminds me, I had a former boss that used to say, if it's important, once you get sick of hearing yourself saying it, you've almost said enough. And I tell you what, I ain't sick of saying this yet. So I'm going to say it again, and I was reminded about it again, something that I've talked about in the past. I have been teaching educational administration for Concordia University here in Nebraska. Their ed admin courses. And an assignment we had recently in a course that I'm teaching is, tell us the characteristics of a great teacher. And two things as I reviewed the assignment that came up a lot were number one, having high expectations, and then number two, building relationships. I'm getting to the part where I'm going to repeat myself with stuff that you guys who follow Mission Monday know I've said for a long time. But talking just a little bit about those concepts really quickly. Number one, I think it's great when we have high expectations. What frustrates me is when people think that high expectations exclusively, that is the remedy, that is the intervention. Yeah, you want to have high expectations, but if all you do is have high expectations, it just doesn't work. If, you're a track coach and you say, hey, I think we ought to be able to run this 30 seconds faster, and that's all you do, that's not enough. Maybe some students, maybe some of your athletes will go, all right, intrinsically, here's what I need to know, here's what I know I need to do, take that time off. But that's not enough. We need to do more than that. You need to make sure that you support those high expectations, that you give people the tools to attain those high expectations. And when talking about the support for those high expectations, that's when it gets to the other part that my students in my class were mentioning, building those positive relationships. And this is where I'm really going to repeat myself. And you guys know this. Those positive relationships don't happen by accident. Don't just say, you got to have positive relationships. Do something about it. Here's maybe a third thing that I've heard a lot from my students, and I think I've mentioned this before as well too. They say you have to come up with what the students are interested in, that you need to capitalize on the interests of the students, and that's how you build those relationships. Yeah, that's important. You got to be invested in the interests of your students, but the most important thing for you to be interested in is your students. And you demonstrate that through the interactions you have with them every day. We have so many diverse interests out there, and it's easy to say, hey, just be interested in what your students are interested in. Demonstrate that. Yeah, find that out about your students. Don't rely on just that. What should end up happening because of the interaction that you're having with your students on a consistent basis is they know you're interested in them because of how you treat them. And they are interested in you, and by proxy become interested in what you want them to learn because of how you treat them. I've had some students say, hey, I really bonded with this teacher because they were interested in the same thing as me. We can't just count on if you're really big into gaming that you will be able to bond with those students that are really into gaming. What about the ones that aren't? Fits with any sports or Harry Potter or anything. Just because you're interested in it, that's not enough. That's a great tool for you to use with those students. Don't forget about the rest. And it's really hard to be authentically interested in everything that all of your students are interested in. What's not hard to do is be interested in your students and demonstrate that through your interactions. When you ask somebody, what's been the best part of your day? You guys know it's one of my favorite missions. It doesn't really matter what the kid's interested in. It doesn't really matter what you're interested in, other than you're interested in that kid and what's been the best part of your day. And you also start to find out some of those things that they're passionate about. And then you can recall those. Most important thing to demonstrate interest in is the student themselves. And you do that by being intentional with your interactions with them every single stinking day. All right. I think that's all I have. course, whenever I say that, there's always more. Want to remind you, Mark and I wrote a book called It Happens in the Hallway. Spent every Saturday in June giving that away for free. We won't be able to do that for a while. But if you want to know more about what Mark and I think and some things that we've said, a great place for you to look is in that book. If you go to missionmonday.com and click on the book link, you're going to find out everything you need to know about how to acquire that. It'd be super if you did that. I think that's all I have for you guys. Keep up the great work. This time when I say I think that's all I have for you guys, I mean it. Last thing, I always want you to know, love you.